Nothing.
Quick,
Oh, here we
to
go.
the trivia.
Where's-
This week, Tom Hardy plays Venom, Woody Harrelson plays Carnage, Andy Serkis directs and, I assume, plays everybody else.
Also, No Time to Die, the perfect retort to Goldfinger's No, Mr. Bond, I Expect You to Die quote arrives after only 57 years. Welcome to Movie Nonsense, everybody. Streaming at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 Eastern every Monday, where Adam and I get together. And if you've seen our work, shall we?
The nonsense. If you've seen our nonsense.
Well, more of that here for an hour, or if we have a guest, it seems to go a lot longer every week. And so, yeah, if you like our nonsense in the movie trivia schmodown, if you don't know what that is, go check it out. It's movie trivia meets world wrestling, and we're a part of that. And of course, anything we've done at themovieguys.net, our live shows, our videos, our podcasts, it's more nonsense right now. And if you want to know more about what we're about, you can always just check us out on Google or Yahoo. And we should come right up.
Yeah. So
tell your friends. Yeah. Continue, Adam.
Subscribe, all that stuff. I'm just supporting what you're saying here.
I was going to say like and subscribe. We see we're in sync here.
Absolutely.
Our minds are in sync.
And speaking of being in sync, or maybe we weren't, but we have a poll up on Movie Guy's Twitter, and I think we found a very interesting topic. Now, last week we had brought up the topic of best last movie. If an actor, because it's always been stuck in Paul's craw that Gene Hackman went out on Welcome to Mooseport. And you don't have to know Paul long for that to come up in conversation. What's the other one that really bugs you that somebody went out on?
Well, there's two. Connery went out on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
And then, although technically he did some voiceover for a thing overseas that no one saw. And then it seems like Jack Nicholson, without any official announcement, is going out on How Do You Know, the awful James L. Brooks movie.
Oh, right.
With Paul Rudd and Owen Wilson and Reese Witherspoon, I believe. Brooks has done so much better. It's a shame. I see that he probably went, well, this will be a good one to go out on. It wasn't.
Well, this is
Ron Howard.
This is the fun discussion because, if you suggest they go out on some movie, then you have to start leaving some out. And this makes it one of the classic type of conversations you'd have in the video store, my favorite types of conversations. So this is last week's. For Robert De Niro, we had 58% of the people said he should have gone out on Heat. 16% said The Joker. Now, the thing about The Joker is you are allowing a lot of De Niro that might be best left aside at that point. And let me just, for comparison's sake here, I think this is the fun way to do this here. Let's see. Let's get our full thing up here. All right. So let's say De Niro here. All right. So if you take out De Niro, if we take out De Niro at, all right, so let's say we take him out at Cape Fear. All right, you're going to lose Night in the City, big deal. Mad Dog and Glory, big deal. Bronx Tale, big deal. Casino, that's a big deal. So it's harder to say.
Oh, and Heat, back-to-back Casino and Heat?
Right, so you pretty much, that's what I'm assuming why Heat really won the competition here, because look what you're leaving out. Like, all right, Jackie Brown, that still would have been a good movie. You don't need De Niro in that movie.
I guess.
Yeah?
It's a great movie, yeah.
No, I think Copland is great. The Fan is fine. Wag the Dog is really good. Ronin is really good, but still, best last movie? Do you want to go all the way? Do you want to go all the way up to Ronin? That way you leave out Rocky and Bullwinkle. You leave out some, all this stuff really can be left out. It's...
Oh, if we're stopping Rocky and Bullwinkle, yeah, I think the people have spoken. Get out on Heat. Spare yourself. That is the thorn in his side forever.
Yeah.
People have made bad movies, but him being in that one just sticks on him like sticky flypaper, man.
Now,
you can't let that one go.
And today's poll was Clint Eastwood, because we're talking about Cry Macho last week. He's in the news again. This one we got a dead heat. This is interesting here. 10 votes. $1 Million Baby and Unforgiven are holding a dead heat. And let's just go back to, let's see what we have to leave out in order for, if you take him out with, all right, if you take him out with Unforgiven.
That's 92.
All right, so here we go. So you take him out. What is the dead heat? Is it? It's
dead heat is Joe Piscopo and Treat Williams.
Dead heat. Sorry,
that's another story, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
If you go to Unforgiven, at least you get to round out the Dirty Harrys. Deadpool still come. You still get Deadpool. You still get, Pale.
You get Heartbreak Ridge, one of my favorites.
Ridge, great movie. Yeah. But
now, yeah, it could be argued that you discard that. Take him out on something else, but
take him out on Unforgiven, though. You don't get In the Line of Fire.
You don't get In the Line of Fire.
That was like peak Clint, because he was like acting in it. He didn't direct it. He's just acting as Clint in the Line of Fire. Wolfgang Peterson, Malkovich gets nominated as well. Like it's Rene Russo, I think, right? This big, huge prestige piece right after he was behind everything concerning Unforgiven, from writing, directing, producing, starring. So that's vintage Clint. It's tough to take him out on Unforgiven and not get In the Line of Fire.
That's why I divided it there. If you go In the Line of Fire, no choice, go for it. But if you take him out something after that, then you get In the Line of Fire. Unforgiven has to make that sacrifice. So if you take him out at $1 Million Baby, yes, you are now getting his appearance in Casper uncredited, Bridges of Madison County, Absolute Power. But, do we need Blood Work, Space Cowboys, True Crime, Absolute Power, A Perfect World, Bridges of Madison County? Peak as those are, if he goes out on Unforgiven, you go, man, that is one epic career.
Yeah, it's true. Because he finishes the genre that he helped define.
Right.
And a fistful of dollars. So. Right.
And I would argue you don't need you wouldn't miss $1 Million Baby if you take him out at Unforgiven. And, some people are agreeing with that. So, yeah, I mean, I would think you could even, I mean, you talk about really, yeah, granted, you got to take Unforgiven out of his career, but boy, if he goes out on, The Gauntlet, that's all straight thunder right there prior to that.
Well,
right?
Then you get to lose your favorite Every Which Way But Loose.
That's the thing. I can't do it.
Can't double feature.
I can't do it. Now, here is the question I had when I was putting the poll together. Do you take him out after Escape from Alcatraz? That way you stop. You don't have Any Which Way You Can, which is definitely the lesser of those two. But you also lose Firefox.
Oh, you can't lose Bronco Billy though. That is my ultimate underrated Clint Eastwood. That movie's hilarious. But go to the very top because I want to see, like, have we like, okay, his acting: Cry Macho, The Mule, Trouble with the Curve, Gran Torino, Blood Work, Space Cowboy. Yeah, there's not a lot there that is like.
It's not essential.
Yeah,
it's not essential. It's bonus. It's bonus Clint is what it is.
Yeah, but he hasn't embarrassed himself quite like, I guess it's tough to say De Niro's embarrassing himself, but the war with Grandpa and all this stuff. He's not making a war with Grandpa. He's making a Cry Macho and The Mule and, Gran Torino as prestige picks still. So he still has that about him. So it's tough to say you want to take him out at all. That's
the problem. You go out on Joker, you retain The Comedian, Dirty Grandpa, The Intern, which is fine, I'm sure. I'll never find out. Grudge Match, which is fine, I'm sure. American Hustle. You lose all these. You lose Silver Linings Playbook. But still.
That's the thing. He loves to combine this crap with The Irishman prestige picks. And so it's always a win-lose take. I mean, you never be 100% happy. I think you just have to resign yourself to that.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. That's some of the work we're doing here at Movie Nonsense. So go to Twitter and weigh in, and we'll pick up Clint Eastwood later. And we've got a couple others to discuss that we didn't put on the poll that Paul and I were discussing when we came up with this topic, because it's a classic, like, stop into the video store. This is the sort of discussion you have. Yeah, but would have been better if Dustin Hoffman had went out on, whatever.
I think that's our show. Yeah, it's like just video store movie talk.
Yeah, totally. Stop into the video store and chat with these two clerks here.
It was interesting when I was talking about retired actors. I was putting a little thumbnail together for this show and included De Niro because you had put the poll about him. And I included Warren Beatty because I feel like it's been a while since we've seen him in something. And then, of course, the three that I always go on about with Hackman, Connery, and Wilson. But I also threw in that JPEG, Cameron Diaz, because she hasn't been in anything.
That's a good question. What's her best last movie?
I think she's on a self-imposed retirement, I believe. I guess they all are. Unless you get horribly injured or something. But it seems like she just faded without announcement. And I don't know. Can you pull her up on IMDb?
And what would make her best last movie?
In case she's actually done, I need to know whether I should be angry as to the last film she made. In case she's like, because I think about. Is it Night and Day? I mean, that was a great movie. That's 10 years ago. And if you're going to be done, go out on Night and Day and, God love you.
All right. Let's see. Let's bring up Cameron Diaz here and see what we have. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see. What is the best last movie for Cameron Diaz, and did she nail it? Okay. So these are not. Okay. So Sex Tape, is that her last? Oh, Annie.
Yeah,
she was in Annie.
TV, okay. I think, right? Yeah.
No,
it wasn't.
No, Annie's that
Rob Marshall. No.
Yeah.
It's the Jamie Foxx one.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So Hannigan, is that the Carol Burnett role?
Correct.
Okay. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need Sex Tape. We don't need The Other Woman. We don't need What to Expect. I mean, boy, you could take her out at. She could retire at Night and Day. I think you've nailed it.
Yeah.
But okay, so Night and Day. Therefore, you keep all the Shrek movies, right?
Mhm.
The box, which we don't need to keep. What happens in Vegas? My sister's keeper. Boy, I mean, it would be far more epic if she takes off after Gangs of New York.
Oh, wow.
You don't need Charlie's Angels is nice and epic, but you don't need the sequel. It's a terrible movie, also, but you don't need her to complete that.
I would say the same for the Shrek franchise. I love the first one. The sequels, actually, Shrek Forever After, I thought was a good return to form, kind of.
Yeah,
But yeah, they weren't winning me. And I'm with Garth here. Please keep the Green Hornet. I will tell you, thank you for saying that, because I'm a fan of that movie. I get
it's a good movie
all the time. Here's what Seth Rogen did brilliantly. He never wrote a hero character for him to play that's any more than what he could do. He leaves all little heavy lifting to Kato while he plays like spoiled rich kid who kind of gets in fights and has enough action that Seth Rogen could handle it.
Yeah,
I just think that movie's great. So,
well, I think so too. Oh, and anybody, there's a group called the Corridor Crew who takes effects from movies, and they're effects guys themselves and breaks them down. Seth Rogen went and sat in with them, and there's a lot more going on in the Green Hornet than you realize. Like, I had forgotten that is a Michel Gondry movie with a lot of crazy stuff going on that just kind of goes by you because it's part of the visual flair. So, yeah, Green Hornet, and then but see, Bad Teacher's pretty good. If you're going to go to Green Hornet, then you might as well.
Isn't bad. That's true.
Might as well go to Bad Teacher. Bad Teacher's pretty good.
Yeah, and you know what? You don't go out on Night and Day. You stick around for Green Hornet, Bad Teacher. There's nothing bad in there.
No.
That you went one beyond Night and Day to hold on to.
And then she completes the Shrek story. I don't think there's another Shrek after that. No.
But unfortunately, she went out on sex tape. Okay.
She did go down on sex tape.
Well,
okay.
No, Annie, but,
well, Annie. Which is more prestigious than sex tape, I'd say, but everybody's already forgotten about that Annie. I mean, I just realized reading, I'm like, oh yeah, they remade Annie.
And I just went, oh yeah, she was in Green Hornet. So there's that.
Yeah.
We talked about Redford a little too, which I objected to immediately because we can't have him exit the Hollywood anytime sooner than his involvement in the MCU. So we need him around for that.
Oh, really? So we got to go all the way to. All right, now here's what you keep. This is the discussion here. Oh, okay. That's producer. Hold on, that's producer. We got to do actor. Okay, here we go. All right, so you and hey, it's wonderful to. I love him in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. It's a great return for him as an actor, and for the MCU to get another super epic actor into. I mean, they've had everybody but Eastwood in their movies at this point. But to get to The Winter Soldier, you have to keep. Well, All Is Lost. Actually, a lot of people really stand up for that one, and it's pretty good. Not necessary. Lions for Lambs, you don't need. Spy Game is fine. Last Castle is fine.
Spy Game is good.
It is good.
Game is good, yeah.
It's been since 2001 since I've seen it, but it's Tony Scott, right?
Yeah, so there's some decent stuff in there that you could extend this up to Winter Soldier. But then, yeah, I guess.
But that's tough. You take him out on sneakers, though. But boy, he really runs the table, though. Yeah, you really can't take him out earlier. I mean, look at this. You can't take him out before The Candidate. You can't take him out before The Sting. You can't take him out before Electric Horseman. You can't take him out before The Natural. I mean, look at that. Prior to The Natural, and I just don't like Out of Africa, and Legal Eagles is a bit of a snooze. But you know what? I think you might be right. I think you have to discard Captain America, but yeah, you can keep him through. I mean, and then you get All Is Lost. You get Spy Game. You get Last Castle. The Horse Whisperer. It's a bit of a snooze, but beautiful movie. Yeah. And who would know the up close and the personal story of that newscaster without up close and personal?
Who would know the touching, heartfelt story of what's her name?
That newscaster from Dayton? Was she from Dayton? Sure. I forget. Sure. Everybody's from Dayton.
That's the poll. We'll do another one. Maybe there's an actor here we didn't touch on, or two even. Maybe we can return to them later on with polls about those guys, and come back around to this again. But we always like to talk about what movies are coming up. So coming up this week, let's talk about No Time to Die. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to. I don't know how I'm trying to stop this.
All I wanted was a
Damn it.
sweet
Push the button for
distraction
the.
for an hour or two.
Hey,
Had no
can't.
intention to do the things we've done.
stop it.
Funny how it always goes
actually-
in love when you don't look.
We actually gained a viewer during this. Maybe half.
And a
Oh, yeah,
copyright
no,
strike.
no. Oh, yeah.
We're at all-time high. Is no time to die.
Now we're going to give you just brief rundown of some thoughts on this based on the press release. We've got the press release, and we'll just share. In case you're not familiar with the movie, that's been coming along for, a year and a half. A perfectly good James Bond movie has been out there for us to see, and we haven't been able to see it. It's frustrating as hell. So
It's crazy.
finally,
Locked in
time
a
to
safe somewhere has been a James Bond movie for a year and a half.
Yeah. And now it is ours to see. And here's what it's about. Oh, you want me to start it?
Oh, is that me? Oh, haha.
We got the
No, I
same
got
press-
it. I got it. Sorry, I was distracted, but I've still got all-time high in my head. Dan. Here, I'll sing the plot to this. Daniel Craig returns as the famous and well-known spy that makes a giant presence of himself for... Oh, sorry. Daniel Craig returns as the famous and well-known spy that makes a giant presence of himself wherever he goes with a string of murders and explosions and tells everyone his real name twice, so, not much of a spy.
And Christoph Waltz returns as the villain, reprising every role he's ever played in every movie he's ever been in.
They again go with a younger, sexier Q, replacing John Cleese with Ben Whishaw. See, ladies, proof positive that there is no double standard in Hollywood when it comes to looks.
Oh, well, look at this. Listen, Garth, your opinion on the song is one thing. But, just because it's a bad song doesn't mean it gets you yanked off Twitch.
There's a lot of yank-offs on Twitch. I've seen it, and they allow lots of yank-offs. Let me tell you
Oh,
that.
Lord, that is true. That is true. Well, we have the trailer. Okay, but we don't want to get yanked off. So this is a good call.
Right.
We have the trailer for No Time to Die, but we don't want to get yanked off of Twitch. All right.
But we learned something last week,
Yeah.
which is you could play a trailer with no audio, and they don't care. It's the audio is what they're scrubbing, evidently.
So if we played the trailer but supplied our own audio,
Oh.
who would be the wiser?
I think we're onto something here. I think we're onto a new format.
All right, let me fire it up.
All right, let's do it. Rawr!
James Bond.
Yeah,
Watch
there's-
you guys.
There's some voice over here. James, you never realized all this time through all these adventures that you'd be doing all this stuff. But now, it's time to do more stuff.
It's no time to not do stuff.
James Bond. Is this what's his face speaking? Oh, you lost your girl, and then that other girl, and then you fought in that building. But you had no idea it was time to fight in these other buildings.
Well, it's time to do this. Hello.
Ba-dum, bam, bam, bam. Women! Bond, it's time for you to fight in the ice this time. Bond, I'm in a cage, but I'm still here to be your Hannibal Lecter of sorts.
Here's me singing the song that would get us to get us flat. Probably shouldn't do that.
Please, it's an all-time high. You can't come with me. This mountain's an all-time high. You're a kite in a hurricane.
Bang, bang, pew, pew,
Bam, bam. Oh, thank God I'm retired again, and I'm never going back again. Bond, I know you've retired again, and you're not going back again, but we've lost another knock list. James Bond.
Here's the idea: put the knock list in a damn safe.
We've got him now. There's no way this... Watch this. This'll get him this time. Integrity at 3%. Oh, that guy's missing an eye. That's cool. Ah, now he's missing another one.
Wasn't Blofeld missing an eye? It's the thing here with just missing
Yeah,
an
they
eye.
got to be missing something. Get down! Kick that guy! Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Pim scare.
Are you sure you know how to fly this thing? Fly? Where we're going, we don't need air. I think I got the good outline there. Anyway, so I think the ultimate symbol of this movie is the fact that not only are there guns on the Aston Martin, but fog, like smoke. He's got smoke. He's probably got an oil slick. I love when they go. You know,
Like
the full,
Spy Hunter.
yeah, they got the full Spy Hunter. I love it.
Yeah, and you know, somehow this we brought this up, I think, during Spectre, but somehow this franchise continues to bring you sequels, and you continue to be excited. Whereas every other franchise brings you sequels, and you go, "I hope this doesn't suck."
Yeah.
You know, so and now more so, of course, now that Bond is continuing the storyline, you know, since Casino Royale, right?
Yeah.
That's new, as opposed to like separate adventures with new villains every time.
Yeah, I wonder when they reboot it, are they going to start going back to, all right, here's an individual adventure, and here's another individual adventure. So this is the Marvelized version of Bond, right?
Yeah, you swap out your James Bond, and you totally have free reign to do that.
It's kind of funny. You see that, you know, Bond is famous for jumping trends. You know, he's playing video games in Never Say Never Again because that's what was popular that year. You know, he's hang glides whenever hang gliding became popular.
Parkoured.
He parkoured.
Totally parkoured.
But it's interesting. This one begins before Marvel started making movies, so it begins with a Batman Begins riff in Casino Royale. You slowly see him gain these things, but then as it goes along, now it's like all tied in Marvel style. Like the last three movies are all tied in. So it's kind of cool. Those are the trends that jumped in this one are Batman Begins and now up to like Marvel's cinematic universe.
Well, whatever happens with the next Bond movie, it's going to need another title, right? And so the titles are kind of all similar in that they seem to pull from the same word pool.
Yeah. Does this feel like a very Bond title for you? It feels very Bond. It's got No, Time, Die. I mean, those are classics.
Those are big. So I've brought up something here. I've created an app. It's the James Bond title generator. And you just throw a whole bunch of words in it. It's going to spit out a title for you. There you go.
Big fencing at that time.
Oh, the Madonna fencing scene. Who can forget it?
Who can forget? Who can forget any Madonna role?
Put in the generator tomorrow, forever, never, occasionally, and again.
Okay.
These are references to time,
All
which
right.
are
Okay.
very important. Taking the word time, they just went straight to time.
Yeah.
I'm going away from time and doing parts of time, like tomorrow, forever, never, occasionally, and again.
Right. I mean, you could do. There's ways they do that, like die another day. Okay, there's a time reference in there, but you went literal. Got it.
Dying, living, killing, all these are in there too. So I've added lives, dies, living, dying, and killing into the old generator. Okay.
Oh, you're going to get the title "Live, Die, Repeat." I think if you shuffle on that thing.
And then nouns, I've put in world. The basic ones: world, love, spy, gold, and pussy. So.
Those are
gonna be in
classics?
the mix. Yeah,
Those are
will be in the
classics?
mix. And so we just hit the button here, and it's going to generate a new title for us.
All right. And you think this is how they do it?
Yeah. No, this is sanctioned by MGM.
Okay, that's
This was an
fantastic.
app put out. I pitched it to them, and they said, "Go ahead and put it out there." It's going to be on
You're
everywhere
quite the
you get
insider.
your app. It's everywhere you get your apps very soon.
You turned their Dr. No's into Dr. Yeses with your salesmanship, I think.
Yeah. So here's one. Boom! It shat out the next title for the next Bond movie.
What do you think?
Forever Never Dies.
Forever Never Dies. Forever Never Dies. Well, that makes incredible amount of sense. These have become like Zen koans in some way, right? Because forever doesn't die. Forever can't die. Forever is infinite. I mean, that's you could form a religion based on that title. What do you think the plot is of that movie?
Forever Never Dies.
Forever Never
Oh,
Dies.
there's an ultra villain, and Bond has to stop him.
Dr. Forever? Because sometimes I like when, the name, like they say, No, Time to Die is like he's Dr. No. They've come back, did Blofeld, now they're doing Dr. No. That's a theory.
Oh, is it? There it is.
Yeah.
So you're agreed with.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. Would be cool
All
if
right.
that's. Would be cool.
Let me punch in the old generator again.
Forever never dies.
We got-
Doctor
next
Forever. Oh, that would be a. Hold on, I got the plot for that one. That's a time machine.
Okay.
James Bond has never tried to stop a time machine because, as we realized from certain movies, a time machine is the end game doomsday device. Like if you invent time manipulation, you'll just remove all of time and you're done. So yeah,
The armies of darkness will march across the land. Right.
Right.
So, yeah, if you put in the thing one more time, we come up with
yeah. Shuffle that thing again.
Tomorrow Kills Again.
Tomorrow Kills Again. That sounds very Bond.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Kills Again. What could be the plot of Tomorrow Kills? Well, it's a villain named maybe not Doctor Tomorrow, but
Dr. Kill. We had Dr. Kill. Let's just hit the nail on the head. His
Yeah.
name is Dr. Kill.
Doctor
I guess-
Kill.
Yeah, Professor. They never do Professor. They just do doctors, right? They don't do full on,
And so
diploma holding.
they've got-
PhD.
they've got one day to kill Doctor Kill. Tomorrow.
Was Blofeld a doctor?
No, he wasn't.
He was Oderhauser or whatever the hell his name was the first time. But
Tom Arrow.
Tom
Okay,
Arrow
be onto
kills
something.
again. So James Bond has to go and get James Bond has to go. All right, let me do one last one here. So we put all the words in the generator, and we get Golden Pussy.
Okay, that's inevitable that would come up based on the inputs. I'm not going to theorize what that plot's
Let's
about.
skip the plot on that one.
Yeah, it's
but,
okay.
Let me swipe that out and put in a new app here because the other app that I'm generating, this one hasn't been approved yet, but it's pretty good. It's how you generate the name of a Bond girl because they're kind of all the same too, right?
Oh, okay. Do they still name them weird names? I don't know.
That's
What was
the thing. Since we may reboot, we may want to look back into doing that because now you have Madeline. Isn't that her name, right? Madeline?
Oh yeah, Madeline
who-
Snow or
Yeah, Sadu plays her. Yeah. So,
yeah.
The days of Honey Rider, Pussy Galore, Plenty O'Toole,
Right.
Goodhead, Octopussy. They're a thing of the past. And now we have it's a different name. So this is pretty simple. You take your grandmother's first name, right?
Okay.
Put that in. And you
Alright.
combine it with a nickname for a vagina.
Okay.
And we have
What did you come up with on the sanctioned device, on the sanctioned app here? Did you run this one by them, Paul?
this one's not sanctioned.
Okay.
No. The title one is, but that's where I'm currently making my money. That's why I have time to do shows like this. I'm just sitting back on the residual.
Madeline Swan.
Thank you, Madeline Swan.
Yeah, much more subtle in the virgin white swan sort of reference there, I think.
But based on my generator, the Bond girl in the next film in Forever Never Dies will be Flo Jean Twat.
I guess I can picture that scene, the two of them meeting. So would she say twat? Flo Jean Twat?
Yeah, I guess so. Don't play All Time High, but please. Say twat all you want.
Now, which movie would Flo Jean Twat be in? Would that be Tomorrow Kills Again, I think? Yeah. Or Forever Never Dies, I don't know.
Well, we have two movies there, and we're going to skip Gold Pussy. So let me do one more.
Okay.
Based on, I know your family pretty well. I'm going to use your grandmother's first name
Okay.
and combine it with a nickname for a vagina. And hit
vagina,
the
okay.
generator button. Margaret Cunt.
That's in Forever Never Dies, I'm pretty sure. Again, kids, don't use that language. We are parodying how sexist the
That's
old.
true. Yes, we're not really doing.
I could easily see that in one of the old Bond movies. They would just go with it. I mean, they were Holly Goodhead,
Yeah.
Madeline Handjob. Yeah, like they would just go for it in the old ones. Yeah.
That's too funny. I enjoy that. All right. Well, that's what's coming out. There's another movie called Lamb coming out this weekend, but we're not going to talk about that. If you see the trailer, it's a super bizarre movie. It's total counter programming to No Time to Die. But we've seen trailers for other stuff coming up very soon. Adam, it seems like you might have been a little behind the eight ball on catching up with the trailer for Halloween Kills. But it's out.
Yes. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Do we want to show some of that and talk about it, or do we want to We don't need to dub it, or do you want to dub it?
Well, we don't want to get a copyright strike, do we?
Bing, bing. We're having such a good time. Hey, kids, it's nighttime. Why are you having such a good time out here?
Hey, let me put a flashlight on you in case the killer can't see you. So there you go. Hi, what the?
Kids, don't swing so high. You know that's how kids get killed.
You guys.
There's a guy with a very realistic costume.
I need $10 because my car ran out of gas nearby, but just because I got a gas can.
It's okay. We're all safe in the car. There's no way he can penetrate this car. Dad, just like he did in the first one.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not seen this trailer. This one seems a little more involved.
Oh, yes. I did pull this one today, and I had not seen this one before today.
Oh.
And now here's where the other one began. Let it burn!
Yeah.
Boy, how amazing is it they got Jamie Lee Curtis back for 3 of these. Look at this. And look at this Michael Myers. I mean, you imagine how badly they screwed up so many Michael Myers movies. Can they just do this with Friday the 13th? Like 3 of these that just rock? Oh, wow. Okay, so I never saw this part where the characters...
Yeah, that's clearly a rated R trailer.
I mean, they bring back every character from these movies. It's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm all for it. It's just there's so many of them. I mean, how many were there before Rob Zombie rebooted, and then David Gordon Green now is rebooted, and
yeah, there were 8
movie, but good lord,
there were 8, and then 2 Rob Zombie movies, and then
oh man, there he is. He's killing old people.
Man, but just like, how come nobody ever thought to like do such a good close up on the mask? And they couldn't even get the mask right for so many movies, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful vindication of this premise, this movie.
And what about David Gordon Green? I mean, talk about what a unique director. What brought
Yeah,
him on the scene?
director of George Washington, right?
Yeah. And Pineapple Express, right? Is that what it's?
That was his first weird move. Pineapple Express was a weird move for him at that point because he had done more serious fare, I think, at that point. But yeah, what a career for that guy. Also, and who's the because all the film students in North Carolina, this North Carolina Film School, like Danny McBride and the director that he works with, David Gordon Green was one of the alumni that went back to work with them, and that's how they became friends. And now they're making all these movies with him.
Yeah, I was wondering how he tied into that.
Right?
Again,
Yeah, they're all
such a different path. It seemed than a guy like Danny McBride. Next thing you know, they've all come together.
Yeah. Yeah, there are no career paths anymore. You know, back in the day, like Danny McBride Hollywood of old would have made Danny McBride be doing exactly what he did in his first movie, and he's not allowed to vary from that. Now he's in like Alien, Covenant, and he's not in Halloween, but making Halloween. They wouldn't allow that back in the day.
And I guess Righteous Gemstones is getting another season as well. I think there's a trailer out for it. So
yeah, I started watching that, and then it just immediately made me go watch Eastbound. No, I restarted instead of finishing Righteous Gemstones. I went back to is it Vice Principals?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was like, I never finished that, so I went back and restarted that, and that show. Yeah, so I've only watched one Righteous Gemstones, but that made me go back and watch Vice Principals. My God, that's just such a dark show.
There's a poster now for The Last Duel that came out, and
Ridley Scott, right?
Who's like overachieving, and maybe like the pandemic has pushed some of his movies because now within like 3 months he's going to have 2 films, The Last Duel and the House of Gucci. But I thought this poster for The Last Duel kind of reminded me of Halloween Kills. Ben Affleck, it's working a lot.
Yeah. What's that? What's the look on Affleck there? He looks like he's. He looks like he's about to order some fried potatoes. Well, and you know what Ridley Scott's very first movie was called, correct?
The Duelists.
The Duelists.
Oh, and here we are at The Last Duel, and then another movie.
And what would have best last movie for Ridley Scott? I don't know. It's always going to be the most recent one, I think.
Yeah, it's like the All the Money in the World. That would be his best last movie. because
That was Ridley Scott?
and it was great. Oh, yeah, it was good too.
He keeps cranking out movies. It's amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at other movies coming up. We saw a trailer for Rocky IV, Rocky versus Drago, and immediately we bought tickets. This is coming on Fathom Events. Sylvester Stallone Q&A included in the screening. So we're going down to Century City November 11th. I think is that like near Veterans Day, if not Veterans Day itself.
It is Veterans Day.
It is Rocky IV, 40 minutes of
40 minutes. All robot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, or I was saying all training.
All training.
More what's his name? Tony Esposito? What's that guy's name? Joe Esposito. More
Yeah.
Joe Esposito songs. Maybe they finally get back You're the Best, right? Didn't they let go of You're the Best and give it to Karate Kid?
Oh, really?
And I think it was supposed to be in a Rocky movie, and it went to Karate Kid. And now they can get it back in the director's cut.
That's so funny because every time I go to sing one of the songs from Rocky, I accidentally go to "You're the Best Around" first.
Yeah,
and I'm like, no, that's not it. But it easily could be. Slip right in there.
Yeah, well, they put. I mean, the trailer is pretty much just a recap of the movie. Like it's just.
Is it?
Like, no
I haven't seen this trailer.
Yeah, it's a recap of the movie. That's every moment of the movie told. So, get you excited to remind you, oh, yeah, you saw that and you liked it, so now let's check it out.
But I'm loving these directors recutting their movies with no demand. Like, nobody was like, hey, Coppola, could you go back in and recut Cotton Club? Nobody said that, but here's a new Cotton Club, and it's worth watching. Here's a new Godfather 3, and it's worth watching. And Rocky IV, nobody was asking for a recut of Rocky IV. What makes him do that? What makes him decide, oh, it's time for a recut of Rocky IV with 40 extra minutes?
It's a lot of footage to sit on for that long. I mean, you'd think he would have been shaken into doing something with it for now, but it's amazing.
Actually, he's right. I did hear that he takes out the robot. The robot's gone.
Probably.
Yeah.
And one of the things, 2 other trailers out there that this one I think I can show you because it's the COVID movie. It combines alien invasion in the time of COVID.
Okay.
Let's watch the trailer. It's called Space Invaders.
Well, this is very exciting.
Yeah.
In a world just trying to keep it together, in a city just trying to get through the day, they came from the skies to make things even worse on Earth.
Look, a spaceship is coming.
My God, they're here. We're not alone.
I hope they're friendly.
Hey, back off, COVID, man.
And when panic hit the streets were already pretty panicked.
Run out of time!
No!
Hurry!
Did you get everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Hand sanitizer? Get the hand sanitizer!
Hey, come here. Look at the news. Aliens are attacking.
Oh, man. Freaking 2020.
Whoa, move over. 6 feet. 6 feet. Are you trying to kill me?
Mr. President, aliens have attacked the West Coast.
Get me the world leaders on the phone. Did you sanitize that? Thank you.
Fascinating. I've never quite seen an alien species like this.
What does the data say, Professor?
It says you're invading my space.
Aliens have landed on the ridge. Send in the troops.
Yes, sir.
Social distancing, Private.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Come on. Community center's a safe space. Let's go.
Come on. Stop. Mask, sir.
Temperature. Okay, sir, in the past 14 days, have you had contact with someone with a lab-confirmed case of COVID-19? Have you had a cough? Have you had a fever? Have you had trouble breathing? Have you had achiness? Have you recently traveled outside the country? Temperature?
97.9.
Come on!
Critics are calling Space Invaders just a bunch of people standing behind other people. Variety says, wait, was the president British? Winner of the Participation Award at the Bakersfield Film Festival. Space Invaders. Coming soon to Crackle.
Dude.
I think this director's going somewhere. He's going places.
Gotta let the names play. All good people. This was a 48-hour film fest.
That's
during
awesome.
Pandemic. So.
Oh my God, so many good friends in that montage there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dumb crap we made.
Every day, families move into haunted houses, determined to overcome the odds.
This is a beautiful split-level house with recessed lighting and a wonderful play area for the kids. The only thing is, some people say it's haunted.
But the forces of nature didn't know who they were messing with when they haunted the Pragmatics.
Well, then we won't buy or live in this house.
The Pragmatics are looking for a house. But in order to find it, they'll have to battle the forces of hell.
Hey, Mr. Pragmatic. You know, I've been living in this neighborhood for years. I gotta say, your house is definitely the most beautiful. You know, separate thought, many of the previous tenants have said they've heard screams coming from the basement.
Okay, then we'll fill the basement with cement and move out of the house.
The Pragmatics, the most logical family ever to move into a haunted house.
You're living in the McKintrick cabin, eh? The woods are cursed, you know.
Are they? Well, then we'll just clear cut the forest, sell the lumber, leave and never come back.
No demon, no spirit, no force of evil can match the logic of the Pragmatics.
Hey, honey. Audrey's been acting really weird since we moved in here. I just caught her sitting in a pool of her own urine, head spinning like a top, speaking in tongues.
Well, she is adopted. Let's return her, get her twin sister, who's not possessed, and move out of the house.
We'll never speak of this again.
The Pragmatics, they're coming to your neighborhood, but they won't be staying very long if things get weird.
Finally, our new house. Everybody in the car.
The Haunting of the Pragmatics, moving to your neighborhood briefly this fall.
Roll them up. All right, the Pragmatics.
Nice. Oh, I haven't seen the Pragmatics in a while. That movie looks good.
Well, it still waiting on it to come out, but
Yeah.
We'll see. But in the meantime,
What did you see this week?
what did you see this week? Well, listen, we saw movies, but I think the one I got to do right out of the gate wasn't a movie at all, but it was about movies because I'm a movie guy. So I heard there was going to be a museum that opens up in Hollywood devoted to movies, and I can't believe we haven't had something like this in all the time that we've,
It's been so exciting watching them build this thing.
Yeah, well, there it is. And people say, was this some kind of Death Star or something?
Yeah,
I
it's a
still
movie
can't
reference.
answer that question because I immediately became a member. I paid money to become a charter member so I can go anytime
Nice.
I want. I went to the employee advance thing. It was only a day in advance. Now you can pay $25 and go down and check out the museum. But we still couldn't go into this area here. So I don't know what that is. Chances are that's where one of the big theaters is. And I think the rooftop either up there or the other building is going to be used for a lot of stuff too. They broadcast part of the Oscars from that rooftop, the opening number with
Okay.
the song from Judas and the Black Messiah.
This building must have cost $1 billion. Like, nothing standard about this building. There's no, it's like everything is just incredibly architecturally complex. It's amazing.
And yet it's repurposing some older building, but it inside it looked pretty fresh. In fact, it was a little too glass and steel. It was very cold and kind of industrial.
Okay. Yeah.
But every once in a while it'd be livened up with something like this where they had an original Bruce. I guess there were 4 created. 3 have been burned to a crisp in fires here and there. And this is the one, I think, that was just like in a garage in the valley or a junkyard. And now,
it was up in a tree, famously, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I never got up there to see it because it was just in Sun Valley, just around the corner.
Yeah.
But I never went. But now it seems when the Academy calls, you cough up the shark and now it's
cough up the shark.
That's on display there as well. So that can enliven some of the cold and steel. But once you go inside the exhibit halls, that's where it really starts to come alive and look like a museum. So it's an odd sort of exterior, but once you go into the exhibits, it looks great. So let's talk about one of the first things I did called the Oscars Experience. It cost extra. I don't know if it will going forward, but it's a little weird because it's really short and it's not much.
Okay.
But I paid it because I wanted to do it, and then it ended up being fun. It's essentially this. Stop. We don't need to see that again. But yeah, you sit there and accept an award, and they don't have any audio even. So I don't know. It's a bizarre thing, but it was fun, The top floor has currently, and these I believe will be changing out as they see fit. But right now it's that's not it. It's Miyazaki has a whole display there.
Oh wow!
I'm not entirely into him merely because of lack of exposure.
Yeah,
but next to him is a whole Pedro Almodovar exhibit as well, so those might be changing.
Wow. So all the cinema.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You could go down to like the Hollywood Entertainment Museum at the Max Factor building next to Mel's Diner on Highland and see a bunch of stuff. Hey, we got a bunch of stuff. We've got this set and this prop and this dress and this whatever. But
Lucille Ball's lipstick.
Yeah, this is a museum trying to encapsulate the history of movies, how movies are made. Like each floor kind of shows you, here's where we had the actors, here's where we need a director, here's where we need sound design and costumes and special effects and all that stuff. And including backdrops. There's a whole area devoted to backdrops. And you can't see this, but this has got
North by Northwest?
Yeah, it's got to be like 35 feet tall or something.
Wow.
It's a painted backdrop that Hitchcock used in North by Northwest. And they talk about how now, of course, it's a lot of CGI, but back in the day, that still was enough considering how big Hitchcock thought. That still remains one of the great action sequences because it's still vertigo-inducing, even with the effects.
I mean, he was doing Marvel size stuff for its time. I mean, he made huge movies.
Yeah, I don't want to show too much because you should go down and check it out. But there's so much that I'm not spoiling.
I love that Museum Row and how that's even developed in only the time that I've been here. You know, it was LACMA and the other one.
Well, in case you're wondering, this is right next door to LACMA, across from the Peterson, and you have those red carpets there too. So you've got everything right there.
And they're putting in a train stop there. And the number of people, when I had an office on Hollywood Boulevard, the number of people I would run into who were trying to get to the museums, and I'm like, someday they're going to have a train stop, and I'll be able to say, get on that train and get off at that stop, and that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And this is the room you would have loved. Everyone, I'm sure, does.
Oh my gosh!
Original puppet and original suits.
Real C-3PO.
Sci-fi fantasy room. They had prosthetics from T2. They had Okoye's outfit from MCU and 2001 miniatures and suits. And then you go into this room, and there's just like a surround screen of a 25-minute film that Ben Burt put together, showcasing sci-fi and fantasy films throughout the history of cinema.
Wow!
And there's no voiceover or anything. It's just the clips, one into another, back and forth. And so
that's great.
Sometimes it takes up the whole. Sometimes it's just 2-3 different movies playing on each third of the screen. Okay. I watched that whole thing. I was like, 25 minutes. Well, and then I sat down. I'm like, I'm not moving. This is great. Whether it's some stuff I've never seen before that's super cheesy and old, or like classic. Most of the time, it's like classic stuff.
Yeah.
That you just get all excited about, and seeing on a big screen with big sound again is fun.
I love that they didn't put any voiceover or anything. It's just like those clips can stand on their own.
Yeah. There's the audio from the clips, but
well, yeah, I mean,
a lot of times
yeah.
there isn't though. A lot of times it's just like space travel, and you'll just see shots from 2001 or Star Wars and Alien, and right on down. They have some cool animation stuff, including the storyboards for Up, one of my favorite movies. But I appreciate it even more. So I don't know what you call this, maybe a character board, but it's kind of like pictures of Carl and then things about him, like. You know, he likes to stick noses on. He likes to stick spoons on his nose, or
which we never see in the movie, right?
What time of bed he goes. What time he goes to bed, or those little things that kind of enhance the character and test maybe the faces he would make. So that kind of stuff is fun to see as well. There's original claymation for Wallace and Gromit costumes, including on the far left there. You see Cliff Booth from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the next to last one on the left.
Oh yeah,
Elton John up front, and La La Land. If you are watching me, you can see La La Land and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, two of my favorites from the last 10 years. So
don't you just love that they keep churning out epic movies? Like every year there's something you're like, this movie will be remembered forever. La La Land, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood enough. And then their grand prize crown jewel had to be Rosebud.
Now that's Steven Spielberg owns that.
Oh, is that right? Well,
I believe so.
All over this. The whole gallery in the first floor was named after him. No doubt it was donated.
Yeah, a friend of mine was in the offices, and this must be a while ago because that's now there. But waiting to have a meeting with Steven Spielberg and sitting there looking around the room, and it's like, is that the real Rosebud? Like walks up and is like, that's the real Rosebud. I mean, that's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The real Rosebud. Oh man!
And I didn't know.
I want to have that kind of money, Paul. I want to have I'm going to buy the real Rosebud.
Well, wasn't it Gene Siskel who was always proud to have Tony Manero's white suit from Saturday Night Fever for years and years and years, and he finally donated it, I think. Too.
Sure, but what an epic prop! Come on, that's amazing. Yeah, the Tony Manero's suit.
We're approaching 1 hour, and we always go over, and maybe we can avoid that. But we still got a few things to chat about. What on the list do you want to do? With the movie we saw last night, you want to talk Free Guy? You want to talk the Ford Report?
Okay, I saw Free. Well, why don't we go back to the poll because I pulled a new update. Yeah, I got an update here. If I can find it, because I just dropped it in there. Okay, there's the old ones. Oh, here we go. Okay, so best last movie. For Clint Eastwood, Unforgiven has edged out $1 Million Baby, and someone voted for In the Line of Fire, which I remember we stated would be a controversial choice. Nobody says he should have gone out at Escape from Alcatraz. So Unforgiven wins that poll.
That's a shame, because I would have held out for In the Line of Fire, because that is a damn decent movie. And scary when you think of John Malkovich's character creating a wooden gun, and he can get into, shoot at I think it was the president, right? He's going after. That's all. Great.
Yeah.
And he rightfully was Oscar nominated that year as well, Malkovich.
And so we can end the show on a Ford clip, or we can talk Dustin Hoffman, we talked Robert Duvall.
No, we'll put those off till we'll do another.
We'll do this discussion again. It's a fun discussion.
Yeah. Should have retired when.
Should have retired when.
Best last movie. Whatever.
Best last movie. Yeah. Should have died when. So when I had first had this discussion with someone, I was like, yeah, they're a little too grim.
Yeah, calling for an actor's death. We like this guy.
Should have gotten hit by a bus after which movie? No, best last movie. I like that. It has that sound of best worst movie. That's sort of thing. So why don't we go out on a little Harrison Ford?
You know what? The Ford Fiesta is our other podcast. You can catch it everywhere. You literally can catch it everywhere there are podcasts.
Yeah, Paul put it on everything.
Amazon, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, you name it. And coming up on putting up the Hanover Street episode, right, Adam?
Yes. Gets delayed a few times. I'm going to try and put out a couple in a row here because Hanover Street's now quite a few days overdue. But should be up tomorrow because I'm finishing it today. But the Hanover Street, one of the things we love about watching these Harrison Ford movies is we're tracking when he punches someone, we're tracking when he shoots, and we're tracking points and shouts and righteous anger. Okay, so we're collecting all the data on how many times he exhibits the classic Harrison Ford tropes. And a moment like this in Hanover Street is what Paul and I are waiting for. Of course, these movies are so enjoyable because every second that Harrison Ford is on screen is an absolute joy, no matter which movie. And we have watched movies that you have never heard of. You can hear us talk about them all on the Ford Fiesta. But this is one where you're watching it, and then suddenly you realize, like, Harrison Ford is going to point and shout at this guy, and I'm so excited. So this is after in Hanover Street. He's a pilot, which is fun. This is the second time he's played a pilot, or third time he's played a pilot in only his 10th movie, I think. So that's cool, a real-life pilot. He hears something wrong with the engine. He scrubs the mission, and then someone else gets in that plane and dies. And he says he had heard a noise in the thing, and as soon as he finds this out, he runs down to the airfield to the guy working on the plane to confirm that he, in fact, heard something, and the other guy had heard something, and that they didn't fix the plane, and good men died, and
pointing and shouting ensues.
And pointing and shouting ensues.
Lieutenant, you found it. God damn you! You found it, right? I don't know yet. Tell me you found it. You jerk! Take it easy. Take it easy. He heard it.
Hey, excuse me, folks. Don't go away.
Hi, guys. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. Believe me, Captain. I heard it. So we're gonna.
It's so good.
We love it. He's at about now. This is a decade and a half of movies in. He's still only punched about 8 people.
Yeah.
So once we get to Raiders, that certainly changes, and then by Temple of Doom, I'm sure he punches enough people to double what he did up to that point.
Yeah, the punches have been very surprising because I think there's maybe only 5 punches at this. No, let's see, like 6 or 7 punches at this point. One of them's Jack Lemmon, one of them's Barbara Bach, and as a Frisco Kid, one of them is Gene Wilder. So, as Stephen Lewis put it, because he was helping me with the script yesterday, as of Frisco Kid, Harrison Ford has punched 1/2 of the Odd Couple and 1/2 of the producers.
Nice.
At least that's what he said, and I heard it.
I heard it.
So what year was that? That was 79, right? Again, I think we brought this up in the last show. We're in that period between Star Wars
a bunch of them.
and Empire where you're still not sure he's going to be a star. Didn't happen to Hamill. Corvette Summer didn't take him off. Carrie Fisher didn't do much, then appeared in the Blues Brothers. Ford was in Heroes, which he shot before Star Wars. Then he appeared in Force 10 from Navarone, Hanover Street, and he's going to have a bit part in More American Graffiti and Apocalypse Now. The bit parts, of course, aren't going to skyrocket him to stardom. And the 2 leads are people going, what year was that? Like, yeah, that they're not well known. So, and they weren't taking America by storm. So we didn't know he was going to be a big deal. Still, even after Star Wars.
I mean, Hanover Street is his first lead role, and then he doesn't get another lead role for well, I mean, it's nice.
Raiders.
Not his first. Yeah, it is his first lead role because Star Wars, he's an ensemble, really. Yeah, exactly. Until Raiders. I mean, that's crazy. It's really fun to follow his career.
I hope I don't get bored when we just start hitting the blockbusters because I sort of enjoy finding these little like pre-Star Wars, pre-American Graffiti. What the hell was going on? And now between Star Wars and Empire, what the hell are these movies?
Yeah, what the hell are these movies?
I'm going to know all the movies going forward. But again,
I know.
Still stuff I haven't seen.
What's so fun is we have the way we watch these movies is slowly changing. We know how to watch a Harrison Ford movie as of Raiders of the Lost Ark or Empire Strikes Back, and so we're going to lock into that era, but having gotten really familiar with an almost unknown Harrison Ford for us at this point. So it's going to get real fun soon. It's going to be major Harrison Ford. And you watch these things, you're like, that's the guy from Getting Straight or Journey to Shiloh, or like it's really fun to watch the journey.
Yeah, last night I finished my Bill Murray. I became a Bill Murray completist. For lead roles.
I heard that.
I heard it.
There's he I haven't seen Mad Dog and Glory. I haven't seen him in Hamlet, where he played Polonius. I haven't seen him in Limits of Control, City of Emerald. There's some stuff I haven't seen him
The
in.
lead roles.
But last night we checked Quick Change off the list. I'd never seen it, and that's the last lead Bill Murray role that I hadn't seen. Except for anything he does going forward from now. But who knows when he has sort of a supporting actor thing going on now. But I just never saw it. I don't know why. I love Bill Murray, but
we watched it in your backyard last night, and I hadn't seen that since 1991, I believe, right? 91?
90 is when it came out.
90?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hadn't seen it since then, and boy, that's a strange movie. They don't make movies like that anymore.
He's okay. Gina Davis okay. Randy Quaid annoyed me so much. I just wanted the movie to be over. Not
Right.
just because of an over-the-top performance, but the character was unnecessary and just got in the way of everything.
Yeah.
Not for comedic purposes though, but had to see it, because it's a movie.
Yeah, and it's an interesting bank heist idea, but it's two movies.
That's the best part.
Huh?
That's the best part to me. I thought that was all
Yeah.
kind of cool. The way it unfolded, how deeper it got, and then how it ended up was all good. But there just weren't enough laughs throughout, and Randy Quaid was so annoying.
Yeah, and if you can imagine Bill Murray in Dog Day Afternoon, that's the first 25 minutes of this movie. And if you can imagine him in The Out of Towners, then that's like the last part, trying to get the hell out of New York, which they can't get out of New York. Now, here's a question to track for Bill Murray, because in this one, everything is so wacky, but he is subdued Bill Murray. Everything is a little more subdued Bill Murray. When did we lose wacky Bill Murray? When did we lose crazy Bill Murray,
I don't know. Maybe he made it. Does he do that? The movie before this was Ghostbusters 2, and then Scrooged before that. Was he crazy? I guess he was crazy and Scrooged.
He's crazy and Scrooged.
So that might be it.
Is he high? He might not even be high energy Bill in Scrooged, but at least he's,
I have to kill
all of you. Right, exactly. Yeah. He's still got a little bit of that. I guess it's a longer crossfade. It's not like, Pacino, once he played Big Boy Caprice, he played that for the rest of his career. But
all right, that's a diversion. The point is the Ford Fiesta. Check it out, and of course, come back here every Monday at 3 p.m. or tell your friends to check it, because this show, as soon as it's live on YouTube, it's archived forever on YouTube, so you can go there and watch it, or at themovieguys.net as well. And you can also find Space Invaders, which is the best last movie according to Haskell 420. So that's
I heard that
Haskell 420, he might be high, but then we'll take a high audience if it means it's the best.
Absolutely, especially if it's Haskell.
Yeah. And that's it for plugs and everything. Anything else, Adam?
I heard it.
I heard it.
Goodbye.